Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fandom Flux podcast episode. So we were talking about foods and stuff, and yeah, bitter foods suddenly okay with my palate, and it's weird. It makes me uncomfortable, but spinach is super good, and Slicer's apparently pissy about it because he came back from the bathroom. Ha! He's pissy, and he's heard us talking about spinach, and now. Yeah, that's
listen,
catch you up.
Hey. Spinach is great, okay? I love spinach. It's not on pizza. What the fuck?
Slicer, if mushrooms can be a pizza topping, I don't see why spinach can't be.
I don't like mushrooms as a pizza topping either.
I have pizzas in my freezer that are literally just mushroom pizzas. Mushroom is solid.
What about pineapple?
Going back to the historical origins of pizza, in Naples, everybody just threw whatever crap they had on bread and called it pizza. Okay? That's how it works.
I like Naples. I like their style. I like the way they do things.
And I'm okay with pineapple on pizza. Hawaiian pizza is pretty good.
I want to party with Naples.
Pineapple on pizza is fine.
Yeah, like, if you want to make a dessert pizza, sure, put all the sweet things you want on your pizza. But for like a savory kind of pizza, no.
It's kind of the contrast of the flavors. It kind of mixed together. It's good.
I mean, normally tomato sauce by itself is sweet enough for me that I see pineapple conflicting with that. But hey, you guys do what you want.
You add in like the Canadian bacon and everything, and then you gotta make it. You can't just throw pineapple on it. You have to make it fully Hawaiian pizza.
Yeah.
Hawaiian pizza with Canadian bacon.
Hawaiian pizza is okay, but it is the only circumstance where I would even consider putting pineapple on a pizza.
No, you're right. I will agree with that. It works because of the ingredients working together, but just throwing pineapples on any other pizza.
Just pineapple is bad. You need balance.
By the way, I like the taste of pineapple. I don't like chewing pineapple.
I agree.
I understand that feeling completely.
It's a texture thing. I get it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with oranges. I love oranges, or I love the taste of orange. I cannot stand like actually eating an orange.
Not quite on the same page on that one, but yeah.
I understand that.
I personally can't have red velvet cake. The texture is so weird to me.
It's literally just chocolate that's dyed red, dude.
But the one I had before, it had some weird texture. So now I'm just turned off to the entire.
They put something extra in that cake for you, and you probably didn't actually want it, but you know.
Don't do that.
In my experience, red velvet cake has smaller air bubbles, so it feels like a thicker cake.
Maybe.
I can agree with that. My mother loves red velvet cake. I've had it a few times, and I like it, but it's far from my favorite kind of cake.
I'm a carrot cake kind of guy.
So
can we stop talking about food? I'm actually really hungry.
I am too, but now we're locked in. So can you just do that with any kind of you just dye chocolate green and call it green silk? And hey, I've made a new thing. Is that a thing you can do?
Sure, why not?
I mean, there is such a thing as a blue velvet cake.
Casey,
really?
You and I need to invest some money into making random colors for cake and calling it something.
Blue velvet, trademark, patented. This is the fucking evidence. We did it now. So when it comes out, you owe us royalties, motherfuckers.
No, brown velvet. Just make a chocolate cake and call it brown velvet.
Oh god!
I would be surprised if that's not a thing already.
I'm scared to Google this, but I'm going to.
Brown velvet cake.
Okay, no, that's a thing. Why is it a thing?
Okay, yeah, it's okay.
Damn it! I can't have anything. I was hoping I'd come up with something stupid that I could make money off of doing absolutely nothing, and no one could steal that shit because I said it on the internet.
Green silk cake is a thing.
Really?
Oh, that's bad.
They even called it
Japanese
silk.
pastry.
I was just taking the piss.
It probably tastes like wasabi or something.
Yellow velvet cake is also a thing.
Oh, God.
What
Okay.
about violet velvet?
Well, I'm going through the list here. You got orange velvet. Violet velvet is also a thing.
Damn.
How about mauve? Do we have a mauve velvet cake?
How about indigo velvet cake?
Pink velvet.
Rainbow velvet cake.
Okay, I bet you that's a thing.
I wouldn't be
And
surprised.
yes, it is a thing.
Yeah, okay. If there's one thing like the velvet bollocks that exists, I totally want to try a rainbow velvet anything. Just sure.
Like, look at that. Like,
Oh, I want it so much.
That would take so much work.
Oh, but it's worth it. Oh.
That
I'm
is
a bit
6 different cakes you have to bake and then flawlessly sit on top of each other.
patient. Get on it.
Well, that's how you generally make cake, but yes.
I could do that, and it wouldn't even be that much fun. Well, maybe it would. I'm not sure I have that many baking dishes.
I
course,
don't even
getting
know if we introduced ourselves.
I am Casey. I want some rainbow velvet cake.
I'm the patient one. I'm content with blue velvet. Blue is best.
Purple's
I'm
better.
Kenchi 6'8". I'm really pissed off that my idea isn't having legs. I wanted to get rich.
I'm Slicerness. I just want some fucking food. Like a steak.
Yeah, that
I'm
too.
zero.
I want food.
I'm 0, and I just want some freaking carrot cake.
Carrot cake is good.
Yeah, carrot cake. Coffee cake, also very good. Yeah, this whole food thing started because like we were talking about suddenly liking bitter things, and I totally want to actually try coffee because I've hated it my entire life.
I still hate coffee.
Yeah,
I
that's
can't-
the
I
thing.
can't-
I
I
don't
can't-
know. My tastes have changed, so I don't know whether I still hate coffee. I need to actually try it again.
I conscientiously object to coffee.
I'm not fond of. I mean, I've never had the inclination to try coffee before, and I just have less than no inclination to try it now.
Yeah. I tried it when I was a kid, and it got to the point where we were just adding sugars until I felt like I liked it. I think we got to 5 before we just gave up and was like, okay, you don't like coffee. Okay, that's fine. Yeah. So, what's everybody been doing for the past 2 weeks? Because we didn't do one last week. My apologies. I was up for a time that you like no one would recommend. So yeah, that didn't happen last week. My fault, but it didn't happen. So who wants to go first?
So, okay, patient can go first.
Or I can be patient if you'd like to go first, Zero.
Your
No,
audio is
Patient.
working, so patient, please go first.
Well, first of all, I watched the rest of the 4-episode series Petshop of Horrors, and I looked it up, and apparently there's a much lengthier manga adaptation of it. Haven't read those yet, but I might be inclined to buy them if I find them. It's an intriguing series.
Sorry about the typing.
We find out in the second episode that Count D has a massive sweet tooth.
Yeah, it was fun.
That was where I really drew the parallels to Elf and Death Note, and I really, really want to do a crossover between those two series just to see how D and L. Oh no, I didn't even realize that.
They're both letters. You see, that's the danger of watching fucking animes.
This is the alphabet right here.
You gotta keep this crossover on the down low, as it were.
The DL, they say, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
Also, you should have
Anyway.
him try rainbow velvet cake. That's the thing that should happen in the store.
This is going to be a thing at some point in the future, my words. If I have to recruit the rest of the brain to make it happen, I will. Anyway. Whew. Then the second, and third episodes followed the same basic formula as the first. Person has a need that they need to fill, comes to the pet shop and purchases a pet, signs a contract. One of the rules is always don't show it to anyone, but the other two rules vary. So, spoiler alert for anyone who doesn't want to know the rest, skip ahead a few minutes. So, second episode, there's a couple that's on a cruise ship, and a woman in a wedding dress falls overboard with a very horrific scream to her death. And the man who was there comes up to the pet shop to purchase or to pick up something that the person bought before they died. And it's a very large fish, and it's a mermaid. Yeah. That looks exactly like the dead singer, as she is, famous singer, from the waist up. So he's taken with her.
Patient?
Let me guess, this is an anime reflux, so I
Kinda, yeah. I appreciate it, but yeah, this is not really the show for that. Also, not much point in just entirely spoiling the show if you want people to actually watch the show.
Fair enough. Alright. Brief description, second episode, Mermaid. Third episode, Medusa. Fourth episode is the only one that breaks from formula, wherein there's no contract. And it's the Keeling. I don't know exactly how.
The giraffe-looking thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But, yeah, either way. Okay, so, Petshop of Horrors, highly recommend it. Aside from that, the job is going alright, but I mentioned my job before this was a door-to-door sales, or door-to-door advertisement.
Yeah.
It got a bit tedious after a while. And I mean, while I was getting sales, that was enough to tide me over about the uncomfortable door and trying to see if they want a certain product. And I mean, it was a quality product, but the thing is, apparently, I wasn't aware that this was in my job description. So, apparently, at some point during the day, during the week, one of our vehicles, a group of our workers at the bank go out to businesses and advertise our free checking accounts. I mean, I have made one friend as a result of that. Two, if you count her husband, who was into Yu-Gi-Oh! Or was into Yu-Gi-Oh! So we had a bit to talk about there. Anyway, the point is, it's just a bit unpleasant just having to leave work in the middle of the shift, drive somewhere without gas reimbursement, mind you, and just advertise and get some more prospects. I mean, free checking accounts, it's a good thing still, but not fond of it.
I mean, there's always going to be parts of a job that you hate doing. At least in this case, it's a very, very minor part of your job. Like you said, it's like once a week. You said.
At least it all depends on how behind quote we are.
Yeah, and it won't always be you they send out, right?
Not always, no.
Yeah. So there's always going to be bits that you don't want to do, and unfortunately, as it is, you're just going to have to suck it up and do them. It's not great, but that's how jobs work. So.
Well, we'll see what happens. I like the rest of the banking aspect, and well, honestly, at this point, my plan is to continue working for the next couple of months until my probation comes to an end and I can access the 1 week of paid vacation that part-time employees get per year to visit Vikinger. So that'll be nice. After that, I'll stick around as long as it takes me to build enough experience that my preferred bank and credit union would want to hire me. And then I'll submit applications, and if it gets accepted, then, well, that'll be that. But that's in the distant future. I can't take vacation. And even aside from that, my girlfriend and I still need to work things out. Can't exactly just buy a plane ticket the first week of June, fly up there, and hope everything works out. Not for something like this.
Yeah, that might backfire spectacularly. So.
Spectacularly. All right. Let's see. Not sure there's much else. Been playing Kingdom Hearts 3 Chain of Memories on the 6-pack for PlayStation 4, and cleared the first story, almost clear on the second story, but I'm trying to get another % trophy, which means I have to do a lot of card collecting.
Gotta collect them all.
Yeah, see, the thing is, for bosses, you get their enemy card once you beat them. For all other enemies, random chance.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun at all.
RNG hates me, so I would never be able to do that. Ever.
Well, we'll see what happens. I can be patient.
Haha.
All right.
I'm just staring at this fucking cake.
It is it is tempting, isn't it?
It's right there in the middle of my screen.
Patient, did you have anything else you want to add? No, that meme's too old.
All right.
It was also terrible when it first appeared, so no.
Oh yes, of course. I almost forgot. The conclusion of Strong World is over 70,000 words.
Oh Christ!
Damn.
Gonna break that up into parts.
Maybe.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because nobody's gonna read that in one sitting.
You want to bet?
On space battles, I wouldn't expect them to. No.
Well, let's see. There was something else. When was it? Oh, of course. How could I forget? We should be finished by the end of the week. Hopefully. Aside from that, just enjoying my... And, well, I need to get my vehicle inspected once this podcast is over. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Is that everything, Patient?
I think so.
All right.
Cool.
All right.
I can go next.
I think I
Alright.
might have just one brief thing. A couple of weeks back, our refrigerator died. We had things. Now we have a new fridge. So
Cool.
Mhm.
it's nice.
Nice.
Zero.
So I saw Rampage.
Why?
How was it?
That's a fun monster movie.
I've
That's about
heard
it.
good things. Honestly,
It's not bad. It's just a fun monster movie. You're not going to get like a deep philosophical look at the nature of man, but you're going to get to see a giant monkey destroy a city with a giant wolf, and it's fun.
who can
Was there
fly?
any stem soda?
What?
Was there?
No, it's different. Instead of it being like, because I played the Rampage games, instead of it being like where it was the soda company, it's these things fall from space and infect animals with all these different sort of genes and growth hormones. And I don't know why exactly this exists per se, but you get to see in one of the shots in the office of the bad guys, there's Rampage arcade machine. I'm like, are these guys trying to recreate the game? Is that what's happening here? But
Yeah, they did that in the
It's-
Double Dragon movie too.
I don't know why. I think it's because it would be profitable, I guess, to have giant animals attack things. Sure. But you could use that for war, I guess. Things bounce off them really easily. But it's just fun. And you get to see The Rock again, because he's in basically everything at this point. So, aside from that, which was,
Yeah.
good old time, I bought God of War, the new one. You
Sorry.
okay?
Yeah,
Are you dying?
maybe.
Okay. So, God of War, the new one, I bought it. I have been playing it. It is fun. It is nice to have Kratos be like old, tired Kratos. Is just like telling his kid to control his anger. Because the last 3 games were what happened when Kratos didn't.
And then he just, accidentally his pantheon. So,
Yeah.
speaking of memes that need to die, yeah. So
It was like at first the gameplay felt very clunky to me, because it is very much more of a zoomed in camera angle.
You just didn't know how to move.
Yeah, basically. Once I got a good idea of how the flow of combat works, and I unlocked some new moves that kind of helped keep enemies off me, it's become a lot more fun to fight and do combos.
Yeah, I also have God of War. My friend bitched about the hardest difficulty setting. He clearly just doesn't know how to move.
I'm starting on the kind of the normal mode and not going to the hard yet, or the harder, because I was concerned about not knowing how to move. But I got the hang of it now. It's a lot of fun.
I like Kratos' son. He's a smartass.
Boy, a lot of the dialogue in the game is Kratos telling his son to shut up, stop it. It's great. They make a nice pair of characters, which is like having somebody be with Kratos from beginning to end kind of really changes the dynamic of the character. And yeah, I enjoy this game a lot, and I want to play it right now.
I like Kratos with layers instead of Kratos just yelling at Zeus that he's going to kill him.
Yeah.
yeah, that was basically why. That's basically what kept me away from God of War as a series in general. Was just, oh, this character is incredibly one note. No, thank you. And
But now he's got some depth to him. They basically they used what they had, and then they made a complete character, which is nice.
Taking 12 years to play 4D chess. 12 years, I want to talk about 14 years to play 4D chess with Kratos. I appreciate that.
Okay, whatever that meant. Anyway, Zero.
Yeah. Aside from God of War, it's mainly been. I'm gonna be technically graduating in the spring, but I won't be getting my degree until fall, because if I want to take extra classes for my teaching credential, I have to do it while still being an undergraduate. So I had to move back my degree date. But yeah, I'll be graduating in May. Yay!
That's kind of weird, but hey, whatever works.
Whatever works. So been a bit of preparation for that, getting the tickets all sorted for my family, and then on the side, I'm also still doing the whole DMing a D&D game, and things kind of blew up. Like, everything blew up.
As in, like, TPK, or like what?
As in, like, oh, hey, now the plot has started. And so, yeah, it's interesting. Everybody's now into the Feywild. Which is fun, because I like the Feywild, and I like to do crazy things that make no sense. I will make a theater for the Feywild. Tell them to not go into it.
It has one. That's,
I'll make multiple theaters.
Just make a theater district. You're gonna make Feywild Broadway, aren't you?
You know what? Don't tempt me. No, I've got lots of different ideas and things planned for the party. I'm going to be running now with 8 players starting next session, which is a lot.
Yeah.
So I made the party promise not to split up, like, unless they're in large groups, because I don't want to deal with that crap. Because when we did shopping for one episode, there were like 7 people, and everybody was like, "I want to go here. I want to go here. I want to go here." I'm like, ugh. So, DMing a large group is a lot more difficult than you might initially think. So, lots of stuff I have to keep in mind. Looking forward to the next session, though, because I get to throw fun Fey things at them. I want them to... I'm legitimately thinking I'm going to throw in this minstrel who's going to challenge them to a duel of music or something. Something fun. And then the grass might attack you. Something fun. So...
Now I have the pick of destiny stuck in my head. I don't know why that's the first thing I thought of when he mentioned a musical duel, but it is. It was a pretty good duel. Anyway,
we didn't have an episode last week, and so I probably should reach back for things that happened that previous week. My memory is not that good, so all I can really think of at the current moment is, wow, My Hero Academia is fun. I like watching it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Watch the full interest on it. Schmucks.
Watch our show. No, it's just I'm enjoying it because I'm finally seeing something that I read in the manga a long time ago now being adapted. Critical Role is still good. I'm still trying to learn from various other things about DMing. It's a very different type of storytelling that I'm using to really help me in my weaker areas, which are descriptions. So I hope that really helps me going forward. Who else wants to go?
I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my back hurts.
Why?
Let's see. 2 weeks ago, I had a match with this gigantic dude who's like 6'5" and 385 pounds.
Ooh.
So my first thought was, I'm gonna have to fly around to make this guy look really good. So I let him throw me around a bunch, and I ended up hurting myself. This was my fault. I got overzealous.
It sounds like it's your fault.
Yes, but my mindset or my way of thinking was, I'm going to win this match, so I have to make this guy look good. And I did. And my back has been hurting for 2 weeks. So there's that. No, I do this to myself. I kind of deserve it.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, was it a fun show, though?
Yeah. It was a good show, good match. I got props for it afterwards, so that's the thing. I just don't want to have to wreck myself to get props, so I'm going to stop doing that.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah. He did me a favor, though. Like, he let me do a moonsault on him off the top rope to the outside of the ring, and he caught me. So, good guy.
Those were words. What did you do?
A backflip off of the top rope, 10 feet to the floor, and a dude caught me so I didn't die on the floor.
Okay, that's important. That's good. That sounds awesome.
Yeah. And I'm terrified of backflipping. I don't even know why I did that. Let's see, what else did I do?
Adrenaline. It's a drug.
Yeah, apparently. I never think to do these things when I actually stop and, like, when I'm actually training, I never stop and, like, I should practice moonsaults. No, fuck that. I hate flips. I'm not going to do that. But when I'm out there, it's like, I can do a backflip tonight. Why not? Go for it.
Now you know you will do it when you're high on adrenaline, so you should probably practice doing them.
Yeah.
With a partner who you trust to catch you.
Or crash pad. I don't trust any of those fuckers to catch me. You kidding me? I trust like one person I trained with to catch me.
Trust no one, not even
the
yourself.
rest.
He can't trust himself. He's fucking doing it and he doesn't want to, but he's doing it anyway. So yeah.
I can only trust one person I routinely train with to catch me. The rest are either too small or super green, and they aren't good enough. I can't trust them with doing basic mat wrestling. I'm not going to trust those fuckers to catch me. So, let's see. What else has Kenchi done? Let's see. Updated some stuff.
Yeah. Read that shit.
Yeah. Dude. Which shit?
Extraordinary Times and Less Than Zero. I think that was a couple weeks ago, but it might have been after the last podcast. So, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was. I was just making sure because I don't remember if it was or not. But yeah, I did those two. I like doing superhero stuff. It's fun. Let's see. Oh, yeah. My friend said something that pissed me off. He said that Venom is going to be worse than Cat.
Worse than
Catwoman.
Ah.
Oh.
That is
I disagree with that.
That's a bold statement to make, and I let him know how stupid that statement was immediately after he made it. This was 6 o'clock this morning, so you know how fired up I was about that.
At least Venom looks like Venom when he transforms.
Someone clearly didn't watch Catwoman.
Oh my gosh, Oh gosh, just remembering Catwoman is
the worst superhero movie ever.
Okay, you haven't watched the original Captain America from like 1992, so
the one where he steals the cars?
Yeah, twice.
That one's great. Oh, what are you talking about?
Yeah, those movies are at least memey.
Yeah, that's at least funny. Catwoman's just like sad.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, granted.
Like, when you're judging the worst of something, you have to take into account cult status and memes at this point in our history as human beings.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Superman 4.
I did not watch Superman 4, so I don't know.
At least
That's the
Superman
one with
looks.
Nuclear Man.
At least Superman is Superman in it.
And he throws all of the world's nukes into the sun.
That clearly works. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, anyway. Also, that guy from 2.5 Men is in it. It's not good. He's like Lex Luthor's cousin, and it's really weird. John Cryer, that was it. Yeah.
I don't know the guy. I don't know the other guy in 2.5. It's not Charlie Sheen or Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah. Anyway, Ken, just
Yeah.
talking about things.
So Infinity War's coming out this week. I'm gonna
Yes.
watch the shit out of that.
Yeah, me too.
No spoilers for the
watching
next
it as well.
podcast, please. Saying it now, because people
We're
haven't
not-
watched it yet.
We're
like
not.
me.
We know you. We know
Yeah.
you don't watch.
And we know there's the whole
At least.
2-week deal, so
Yeah.
at least 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You hear that, audience? At least 2 weeks. So you have to watch the shit 2 weeks from this Friday, or you will get it spoiled.
Okay.
I don't care.
Okay, we now have a plan outlined for when we're going to spoil something. We just do it at the end of the episode after the outro. Remember? So if a sufficient number of us have actually seen it and want to talk about it, we can do it that way.
Audience.
How many people do you think are going to die in that movie?
I don't know. I'm not going into it looking at that. I'm just gonna let it. What happens,
Do
happen.
you think Hawkeye will finally die?
No.
I made a mistake watching one of their trailers because there was a moment in it that does not play well on its own. With no context. So, yeah. I'm just gonna try and pretend I didn't watch that and just...
I've been not watching the trailers, really.
Yeah, it's a mistake to do that. So, don't.
You know what trailers I have been watching? Deadpool. I'm gonna like that movie.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for Deadpool 2.
I can't avoid them. They're ads on YouTube.
Like, Deadpool 2 comes out, like, on my graduation day. So, I'm going to graduate, and then I'm going to go see Deadpool.
One of those things is clearly more important than the other.
Yes.
Obviously, yes.
As a matter of
Deadpool.
fact, why even go to your graduation? You
Yeah,
just send
right?
a diploma.
Because it would make my family happy to see me walk across.
It would have made my family happy to see me walk across college graduation too. Do that shit either. And again, I'm an awful person.
And now the college graduation thing is for the families. Like it's not for the student. They just want to leave.
Well, it's like we're in a situation in which my older sister still hasn't graduated at all. My younger brother is about to go to college. I'm going to be the first to actually graduate.
I was too. And I didn't care at all,
Oh, you're lucky.
which was a mistake, or so I'm told by my parents, to not care.
I just watched Deadpool.
Yeah, I do too.
What flavor icing do you think that is on that cake?
Vanilla.
No, it's not vanilla. That's the what is it? What's
Coconut?
normally
maybe?
on red?
Coconut.
What's normally on red velvet?
Cream cheese? Maybe?
Yeah,
Ugh.
Not actual cream cheese. It's a flavor.
Coconut would be pretty good, though.
No.
coconut's a delicious slicerness.
No, the texture makes me gag. It's just, ugh. I
Coconut
cannot
flavor,
stand the
not
texture
actual
of
coconut.
I'm still not a fan.
I like when you break open a coconut and you drink the coconut milk.
I've never had actual coconut. intact.
Do you put the lime in it first, Zero?
No. I just drink the coconut milk, and it tastes like really good.
I'd kick both of you in the shins right now if you were in reach.
It's actually fun if you like eat the coconut like physically, because it's more fun than finding it in your chocolate, and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want this. I don't want this at all.
I like coconut. Screw
I do
you.
too.
I don't like it in chocolate.
Mounds and almond joys are great. You shut your filthy mouth.
Bounty is like maybe not top tier, but a high tier of chocolate bar. It's pretty good.
I don't want that coconut
I
in the
can't
chocolate.
say I've ever had that one.
I don't think they have bounties in this country.
It's
Bounty is a
literally
paper
just chocolate
towel
with
here.
like coconut filling. That's all it is. It's pretty good though.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
So, Ken, so your week? Or...
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I also got my car back, so that's good.
Sweet. How much was the bill?
The bare minimum, which was still $1,500.
Ugh.
Mm.
Yeah.
So all my tax money's gone.
Yeah.
Okay, I got none of that. I don't.
Yeah, me neither. Zero, did you say anything? You just said
He was saying stuff because his thing.
Yeah,
was lit
his
up,
thing
but I
lit
don't
up.
think-
That was weird.
Now it's not at all. So
Yeah.
I think he's gone.
Huh.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, my connection just borked.
Yeah. Okay.
I was just gonna add real quick. I saw Westworld.
Okay, you
It's
saw
coming
that
back.
years ago. I remember you talking about.
No, season 2.
That. Oh.
Season 2 came back last Sunday.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
Go watch Westworld. That's it.
Yeah, it's one of those quote unquote good shows I'm not going to watch.
Slicer, what you got?
Let's see. Pretty soon, as in within like I think two Sundays from now, I'm gonna be starting a Star Wars RPG. Like tabletop, I mean.
Okay.
So that's gonna be either really good or really bad. Who knows? We only got 3 people in the party, and so we're gonna be all skill monkeys, or we're all gonna die. So yeah,
So-
I will tell you how that goes when it happens.
Oh, okay. So small party, like 3 people.
Yep.
Was
small party.
that was about the size that in my first campaign I ever played. It was 3 PCs.
How did they get around the shortcomings of the small party?
We recruited a lot of NPCs.
Okay, yeah. This starts at the end of The Last Jedi, so the Resistances, or the Alliance, or whatever. I don't know Star Wars. There's not many people, so a lot of what we're going to be doing is probably recruiting. So yeah, I imagine we're going to have quite a few NPCs helping us out.
Yeah. So NPCs are kind of what you're going to be looking for a lot of. Whereas my current campaign that I'm DMing, we have 8 players. I am not giving them any additional NPCs.
Don't they not have a cleric?
They have a cleric, and then they have a divine favor sorcerer who can also heal.
Right. Okay. Yeah, never mind. I'm thinking of a different game. So yeah, there's that. I'll be a gank cybernetic assassin, if I'm understanding that right. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. It's either gonna be great or it's gonna be terrible. So there you go.
Probably a mix of both.
Yes. I also saw the first episode of Devil is a Part-Timer.
Oh yeah,
It's pretty funny. I'll admit.
That show's good.
it is.
I want to see more of it. I haven't had time yet, but I'm going to.
I
There's
read
only
the
one
light.
season.
I read the light novels for it. It's pretty good.
So yeah, looking forward to seeing more of that. Speaking of, you guys saw movies. I saw Ready Player One last week, as I mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am one of the unfortunate people who have read the book and
Same.
kind of wanted it to be similar. It wasn't. There's not a lot of similarity between the two.
It was very different. Because they cut out like the first third of the book. I believe. They go straight to the keys. They didn't do that in the book.
Yeah. Also, Iraq, the skull character, like he's a nothing in the books. Like he plays a pretty big role in this, which is weird.
Yeah, and also for some reason, it's not the main character who goes to the center and gets trapped there. It's the
Yeah, it was Artemis that went to the loyalty center, I think they're called.
Yeah, Artemis went to the loyalty center in the movie, but that's kind of the backwards in the book where he got trapped.
Yeah, it worked out nicely, I gotta say. And the movie was good. I don't think I've said this yet, but the movie was very good. But if you're going into it expecting the books in movie form, boy, are you going to be disappointed.
It's a 5 out of 10 for me. The movie.
I was happy with how many cameos there were, like as there should be. Like, yeah.
I feel like the plot structure and the characters were everything we'd seen before.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it really didn't offer me anything aside from, ooh, look, it's something I've seen before.
I think the only thing I was directly angry about was actually the promotional material. H's identity is kind of a big deal in the books, but it's just straight up given away in one of the movie posters.
Yep.
So that was irritating. Oh well. Yeah. So yeah, it was good. I would recommend it. It doesn't seems like Zero wouldn't, but I'd say go see it.
I would too.
Anyone keeping an eye on our Discord over the past week has known that I've been playing Far Cry 5. It's not a good game. It's really not a good game at all. Like gameplay, straight up gameplay wise, it's actually worse than 3 and 4. I don't know what they did. They rushed it or something, but it's just clunky and weird. Also,
it's Far Cry to me. Like I didn't notice that much.
Yeah, it plays very similar, but it's just slightly worse in a lot of ways. Like bullets don't feel like they hit enemies. Have you noticed that?
Yes. Of course, I chalked that up to sucking, but I feel like it didn't suck that bad when I played 4.
Yeah, it's like you shoot someone and it doesn't feel. There's no blood splatter. There's no impact. There's no nothing. You do damage, but they don't react. There's nothing.
Oh, I hate that. Oh, that's the worst when you don't get that feedback.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Let's see.
But Clutch Nixon.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I'll admit. Some of the side stuff is hilarious, as always. I mean, it is Far Cry. They do their writing pretty well.
And the testy festy.
Yeah, I didn't do that quest. I have to go back and do that.
You need to do that quest.
Or at least look it up or something. Let's see. How did you feel, Kenchi? How did you feel about the main story missions where they captured you through various means, depending on what territory you're in?
I always hate that. It's like, how many fucking times are you gonna capture? Like, how many times am I getting away with this?
It's 9 times you get captured and get away somehow.
How many times did Faith goddamn drug me and I wound up somewhere? How many times did What's-His-Face have me dead to rights captured? Like at least twice. What's-His-Face? John seen twice. Fuck.
John's was annoying. Yeah,
John Cena.
Yes.
You can't see him.
He's taking over towns in Montana.
Yeah, John's Bliss Bullet Caravan thing was annoying, but at least you could kind of fight back. I mean, the enemies would just miraculously hit you from behind a tree or whatever.
No matter how many of them I killed, there would be one guy. I could kill all of them, and some guy from like that didn't even exist would hit me. And that's it.
Face at least made sense because the entire area is covered in bliss. Like you're getting infected somehow. But Jacob's, or the top guy, it's Jacob, right? Yeah, his was just bullshit. Like I was using a wingsuit to fly around one of the outposts, and suddenly my screen went red. Apparently somebody shot me with an arrow from like 400 feet in the air. What? Really?
Face or fucking Green Arrow. Fucking.
Apparently, the game at least let me land, and then I passed out. It's like, what? God, this is fucking stupid. But Yeah, so the railroading of story missions is another thing. The endings are also just absolutely terrible. Every single one of them is bad. Yeah. At the very least, they did add an Easter egg ending. I mean, in the first 5 minutes of the game, you try to arrest the cult leader, Joseph, I think his name is. And there's a small pause before you put the cuffs on him. And if you don't press the button, he just walks away. And that's the ending. So yeah, that was at least interesting.
Yeah,
moving on to actually good things, I finally caved and read the manga for My Hero Academia.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yeah, it next episode of the anime is gonna be really good.
Slice.
Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
Ow.
I'm not gonna give anything away, but like, this is a good arc,
Mhm.
man. They're all good. Damn it, I can't even say that.
They're all
pretty
good.
They all have their good sides. And what was that, Casey?
That was me warning you not to spoil anything.
Oh no. I wouldn't do that.
Also, I totally legit thought you said John Cena when we were talking before. I was yawning, and it did the thing where he sort of just mutes your hearing for a second, and so all I heard was John's.
You don't care about John Cena.
I got that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, would be an interesting plot turn, I'm not going to lie.
John Cena, the face of Far Cry.
I'd be okay with that. He gets to be the meathead on the cover, I'd be fine with that.
Video games need more professional wrestling
Yes, they
as
do.
voice actors. So, yeah, that's my week. My Hero Academia manga took me the better part of the week to read.
You're all caught up?
Yes. I'm at chapter 180. I'm not sure if that was the last chapter of where I was reading it. I'm not sure if it's the last chapter that's out.
I think it was... Wasn't the latest chapter 172?
I
think
have
I
no idea.
miscounted. Yeah, you're probably just about caught up then. Yeah, lots of stuff is going to happen. That's kind of why I wanted to do the full interest for this season really badly. Anything else?
No. I believe that's it.
Okay, just me then. So first off, I'm going to say some things that might annoy Zero. So I bought the new Zelda month and a half ago.
We
Oh,
talked
boy.
about this.
Yeah. When it first came out and Zero was gushing about it a lot, I said some things, shut him down pretty hard, probably undeservedly, especially since I hadn't played the game. That being said, I have now played the game. It is my least favorite game on the Switch so far, including Golf Story.
I missed the name of the game. What's
Zelda. It's just Zelda's his least favorite game.
Oh,
Breath of the Wild.
wow. Okay.
Yeah. I hate the weapon degradation system.
Yes, it's terrible.
I
It ruins the game.
It never bothered me. Personally, it never actually bothered me.
Once you get the Master Sword and complete the trials, you will not have to worry about it ever again. The Master Sword has so much durability that if it breaks, you need like one extra weapon. That's it.
Great. I don't care.
I understand. I get it. It's not much of a consolation, but yeah.
Yeah. Oh, eventually you'll get this basically more or less endgame item that will fix the problem in the basic foundation of the game. Great.
I don't think it's a problem.
It is a problem. Like, I rewatched Jim Sterling's video on the degradation system and his harassment by Zelda fans. It was also a thing in that video. It basically reinforced like everything I was thinking while playing it. Like, oh, I got this cool weapon. I better never use it in case I need to use it at some point. And so
Yeah.
I end up spending
This game is
3 whole sections of the map just using fucking Boko weapons because I don't want to use the good ones in case I need to use the good ones.
See, that's the thing. The weapons that you can get that are good are so plentiful. You just gotta go with it. You can't just keep hiding your good weapons the entire game.
Okay, so basically I have to unlearn the entirety of my gaming instincts for the past 20 years for this one game that will never use the system again because it pissed people off.
Yeah, no. If they make another Zelda of this style, they're not going to use the system.
I actually liked the fact that I like starting from nothing and then having to find weapons and trying to kind of defeat enemies with limited weapons was part of the initial challenge for me, and then that challenge, like, I basically was good forever once I hit a certain point, and that's kind of where it stopped being fun for me once I didn't have to worry about things as much. So it's kind of the reverse for me.
Okay, here's the thing. This was a massive problem for me, to the point where I went out of my way to make sure I could fix it as quickly as possible. So there are these little things in the game called Koroks, and they give you these little seeds. You have to find them in the map in really weird and hard to find locations that you probably wouldn't notice 99% of them unless you actually used a guide, which I did. And you find these seeds, and you can use those. Those are your inventory upgrades. So I went, okay, this weapon system is pissing me off so much. I don't care about the discovery and fun, just find things aspect. I just want this fucking system to be less of a pain in the ass. So I looked up a guide, found all of the Korok seeds in the first area, so I could upgrade my inventory as much as I wanted as soon as I got that ability, which was in the next area. So get all these seeds, go to the next area, stumble across that dude that lets you upgrade your inventory. I'm like, okay, cool. Weapon inventory. Alright, see ya. I'm gonna go somewhere else that you've never heard of, and you have to find me again before you can get more inventory upgrades. Fuck you, game.
Yeah, you're not actually supposed to have that many Korok seeds at that point. So yeah.
This whole system really pissed you off, I can tell.
Yes, it did.
Terrible system.
Like, I've played pretty much every Zelda game. I don't think Breath of the Wild is my favorite, but like, now that I've actually stepped away from it, when it first came out, it was the thing that stood out most was it broke a lot of conventions of the series, and it was them trying a new type of gameplay. And when it first came out, everybody was talking about it. There was all sorts of different discoveries about the world and the game settings and how things worked. And it was a lot of fun. It was a very hype time. Stepping away from it, like, I admit the game has a lot of problems. I think the general overworld design is really good. I like the shrines. The durability thing never really was as much a problem for me as it was for you. And that's, I feel like part of that is personal preference, because I don't think it's an objectively bad thing. I do think it could have been done better. But yeah, sorry to hear that you didn't have fun with it.
So
there probably should have been quests where you can find like masterwork weapons that don't break. They would have to be, hard to find quests and very difficult quests, but yeah.
Or just crap weapons that have a shit ton of durability, so you don't really have to worry about it that much. Like,
I wouldn't mind that.
So it would be unlikely that you would be just straight up without a weapon. So that doesn't have to be something that you're worrying about, and thus just picking up all of the garbage weapons in the world. Yeah. So
you can make it. You can make your way through a lot of encounters with usually just bombs. Really feel like not using weapons, because you can upgrade your bombs to do more damage, recharge faster, and you can switch between the circular and rectangular bombs. But if the durability thing really bothers you, then yeah, it's best to stop playing. because it's unlikely you'll ever get over that fully.
It's not going to get any better. Even the royal weapons, like the best ones you find in Hyrule Castle, they still break about the same. They'll last you like a fight and a half each.
They'll last a while. There's definitely weapons that last a lot longer. But yeah, it's why I mainly just stick to using bows for most of the time, because I can just get headshots and save myself a lot of trouble.
Here's the thing. If your argument for how to make the weapons being annoying is to not use the weapons, then why have the weapons?
Oh, I use the weapons or I use the bows, but I try to get the balance. But there's...
Like, if they really wanted you to experiment... If they wanted you to experiment with using different things, then just make the melee option, and to a lesser extent, the bows, just kind of not great as an option. So it encourages you to think creatively so you can do things faster. Like, just making them an option that you never want to use is not the right way to go about that. Like, just making them an option you don't want to use for fear of losing them. That's not...
Like, the general trade-off is you kill an enemy with a weapon, then you take their weapon, and that replenishes the weapon you just lost. That's kind of how it's supposed to go. So you never really run out of weapons.
But the thing is, even finding good weapons, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel rewarding to get what's ostensibly supposed to be a reward, because, oh, this thing is going to break in 5 minutes. Well, never mind then. Alright, I'll just keep moving. Get the shrine token, I guess. Because at least that's permanent. Yeah. That... Impermanent things as rewards does not... Yeah. That, no. No. Not a fan. Not a fan.
It's part of the reason why I stopped really going on my way to fight like bokoblin camps or anything.
Yeah, it makes you not want to get into fights and do the gameplay.
Yeah. And so, like, there's an aspect of it of you have to choose your battles and which battles you're going to be doing. But there's also...
Like...
It's...
Okay. Let me ask you this. The bokoblin camps, where they have the skull chest thing, and it's like, okay, you have to kill all these enemies to get what's in this chest. What's in the chest is usually just like a regular weapon. You will have used 1, possibly 2 regular weapons in clearing that camp. So even if they give you a reward for fighting that camp, it is still a net loss in resources.
A lot of those camps are actually puzzles. There's usually a way to kill all of the enemies.
Yeah.
But yes, usually
you can either bombs or a well-placed arrow. But a lot of them generally, like, you want to pick your battles, so you want to avoid those and go for the ones that are more... Go for the battles that are going to be more worth it. That's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and so far, none of them have felt particularly worth it, so... Yeah.
It's a flawed system that I hope they improve in the next Zelda game, because there will be a next Zelda game.
Yeah, they will. And no 7 out of 10 review in the world is going to stop that from happening. So... Rooster Teeth's kind of a pain in the ass. They made a new website. It doesn't work very well. They also apparently cancelled the double gold thing, the premium service where they send you a box of shit every month. They cancelled all that with basically no notice, as in, I didn't know they were doing that. The last I read, they were reworking it. And that was like... last month. So, yeah, that was weird. That I was suddenly downgraded.
How much money are you out?
From what?
I mean, you paid for the service. Like, did it run out naturally, or did it just stop?
Apparently, it just stopped, but it was like a monthly payment, so it was fine.
Oh, fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't actually piss me off that much. I was considering canceling it anyway, because I'm probably soon to have less income than I used to. So that got cancelled without me knowing it. So I had my first subscription, and that had like 2 months left on it. That somehow turned into 15 days, apparently, according to them. I'm not entirely sure how that happened.
What?
Yeah. So, if, your double gold subscription ends and you still had some first time from before when you were a member and had the first subscription, like, because you can do that for 6 months, I still had 2 months left on that from when I first upgraded to double gold. So, that apparently just sort of vanished and turned into 15 days. So, I'm no longer a first member.
Is it even worth contacting support, or do you think they're just flooded with people having?
I did
similar
contact
issues?
support. They're the ones that told me I had 15 days because it seemed like my account was broken. Yeah. So I had to think about it and realized everything I would be getting from a first subscription, I would have to use the website to actually get.
And you don't want to use the website because it doesn't work.
So yeah, I'm okay with not having a first subscription anymore. Thanks. You showed me, I guess. Bye, RT, I guess, if I want to watch any more of your content. Which is looking sadly less likely than it used to be. I'm probably going to do it through YouTube, so fuck it. Yeah, that was an annoying thing, but saves me a fair amount of money. So
That's not a bad thing. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it sucks you lost the entertainment value, but hey, money.
yeah, fair play.
And there are other content creators out there. I'm sure you'll find something to do with your free time.
There are, yes, which brings me to the next point. Thank you for the segue. I watched a couple of streamers, some of their old streams of content. I think I mentioned watching Full Fantasy Peasant doing Nier Automata, and I started watching his Persona 5 streams, and I also watched Etika stream the first, 8 hours or so of Persona 5.
Are you okay?
Wow. Sometimes it's really entertaining, and then sometimes they have to take half an hour to an hour out of the stream so that they can read all of the donation messages, and it brings everything to a halt. And sometimes they just sort of scream for no reason or do stupid voices for no reason, and yeah.
Hey, welcome to the internet. How are you doing?
Is Giant Bomb still a thing?
Giant Bomb's still a thing. Yeah, All Systems Goku, that's still a thing. Yeah, they're totally doing things. That's the podcast they do weekly now, where they watch Dragon Ball Kai because they never watched any anime ever, basically.
Oh yeah, and it's fun.
It's
I've been
really
listening
good.
to it.
It's really good.
They really like Vegeta.
They really like Vegeta. They,
Who doesn't like Vegeta?
yeah,
Yeah.
basically. I mean, both of them are very confused by pretty much all of the rules and lore about Dragon Balls and
What's
everything.
with the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
In fairness, I'm confused by the dinosaurs in Dragon Ball. How are they not dead? Are they not? What?
It's... Don't worry about
They're
it.
the Saskatoon T-Rexes.
Probably.
Yeah, and they keep pronouncing it Frieza, presumably because they've been browbeaten into pronouncing Forza. So it's just instinct at this point. Please don't yell at us, angry Italians. Yeah, so that's a good show, though. All Systems Goku is a really good show. Yeah. And I got an email about a Kickstarter project I backed, like, God, Slicer, when was that? Like 2 years ago?
Something like that. It's been years.
Yeah. Horror protagonist. That's like,
Oh God.
yeah. That thing where it was like,
That game should have been out last year. Apparently.
yep, it was slated for release July 2017. Yeah, and was it 2017 or 20? I don't know whether it was 2 or 3 years ago. It doesn't matter. So that game, they don't do messaging well. let's say that much. Because I've been getting emails periodically, like once every 3 months, and all it says is, hey, we have a poll on what the outfits are going to look like, and no messages on, like, progress or anything.
Okay, so the TFS Plays Harem Protagonist video came out August 14th, 2016.
Okay, so it was, yeah. So it was supposed to come out July last year, give or take. Yeah, so that's all the updates we were getting for a long, long time. Like, the entire time that it's been in development. And I got an email yesterday that was like, hey, another stupid outfit poll. But also, we have a voice actress for one of the characters, and it's Kira Buckland, who was to be in
Yep.
Nier Automata.
Or not to be.
Yeah. So, Slicer and I apparently both kind of wrote off this project as, yeah, it's not going to happen. They're just buying time and making a concerted effort for the legal team, presumably. But that's a pretty big name to drop if they're just kind of bullshitting. Like, it's not a big name, but it's a name.
What is this again?
Harem protagonist.
Okay. I think I might have cut out earlier when you were talking about it.
Yeah. So, apparently she's already done the voice recording. Like, it says, we worked with her and it was fun, it was great. So if they're bullshitting, that's gonna get found out, like, immediately. So, are they not? And this is actually still happening? I'd be surprised, because it was like...
Why are you asking me?
I'm not, I'm just generally just voicing questions. This is how podcasts work, Kenchi. So, yeah. I'm very confused, basically.
Like, they've been sending emails, like, or at least try to, like, every month. So, there's progress. I'm not sure what that progress is, because I have no idea what...
It never said they're making progress. It just said, hey, you can vote for what this character's outfit will look like when we actually make it, which actually sounds like the opposite of progress. That sounds like, hey, design our game for us. But, whatever.
Optimistic, you ass.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so I found out why dinosaurs exist in Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Because?
So, in the Dr. Slump chapter, Hello Moon, is explaining why dinosaurs coexist with Earthlings in the Dragon World.
I don't know what that
When
is.
Aurelie Norimaki traveled back to the prehistoric ages, she saved a vast number of dinosaurs and other prehistoric creatures from the mass extinction, which he pushes a falling meteor back into space. This also resulted in the creation of Earth's moon in the Dragon World. So Aurelie and pushed a meteor into space and saved the dinosaurs. Told you this explanation.
All right. Cool.
So, yeah.
Finding out all the answers here.
Harem protagonist, still kind of kicking. Apparently, the guy that, put up the campaign and took $80,000 from people, still working on it and is apparently working a job and considers that in real life work. Again, that kind of pisses me off. People give you a fair amount of money to do this, and that's pretty in real life, but, whatever.
You're not asking the real questions.
What's the real question?
When is Honey Pop 2 coming out?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be spring. So, next couple months, supposedly.
In fairness, Casey, I think I'm purely guessing here, but he might be using the money purely for the game, and see, like, if he uses that money for his own living expenses, he would see it as being a fraud or betraying the fans or something.
That's not how that works. Like, working on the game means you pull a wage for working on the... Whatever. Yeah, so it's... I hope that comes out. It was very promising. I would like it to actually be a thing eventually. Also, if Kara Buckland is attached to it, that's actually pretty cool. So, that's pretty much all I got. Unless people want to hear me talk about Baldur's Gate modding and how that scene has changed in the past 10 years or so. I didn't think so.
I imagine that's going to come up a lot in the stream on Thursday, so I think we're good.
Yeah.
Just tell me when Honey Pop 2 is coming out.
I don't know.
Hang on.
Google.
Whiny Zero.
Just stare at a picture of Casey's face, and there you go. That's all you need.
Honey Pop 2, the release date, plot, and game have not been released, but it is likely to be... yeah, it doesn't say. And this is from the wiki, so... I don't know how, like, dedicated they are to keeping up with news and such, but...
Apparently they're also working on a game called The Spiral Scouts.
You know what?
Well, okay,
Honey Pop is a stupid name too, and that was a good game, so it's fine.
I
Alright.
suppose this would be the time in which recommendations would happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
I would like to say that I have one, but I can't.
That's okay. I don't
Yeah.
either.
Kenchi knows that feeling, and just sort of immerses himself in it. It's like...
You adopted that having recommendation. Born and molded by it. By the time I had recommendations, I was already a man.
I don't know why. It's just
You were already a man
Batman reference.
who never had recommendations. You're correct. So...
for you.
Does anyone else have any recommendations?
Yeah, actually. Between reading manga chapters, because the site I was using loaded the entire chapter all at once, so it took my connection a while to handle it. I was reading Viridescent, which is My Hero Academia fic. It is 27 chapters, 194,000 words. So yeah, quite a bit of content there. Rated T, so I mean, hey, no naughty content for anyone who's not against that or against that. Whatever.
Words.
The first 3 chapters are basically canon, except for it's revealed that Deku does actually have a quirk. It's just he's the son of a villain, a fire user, who kind of burned down an entire city. So he does not like using this quirk because it is very visually apparent that he is the son of this villain.
It was mentioned briefly that Deku's father breathed fire, so that kind of fits.
I thought that was his mom. His mom does have
his
a
mom
fire
can
quirk.
pull small objects to herself, and that's it.
His mom has weak telekinesis. His father can breathe fire.
Oh. Well, in this, she does. She has a fire quirk in this, a minor one. It's never actually brought up aside from mentioning that she has it. So, yeah. Canon essentially happens for the first 3 chapters, and then it rapidly goes off the rails. Like, Eri appears much sooner, for anyone familiar with that name. I'm not
Of
gonna go
course
into
she
detail.
does.
Yeah, of course she does. I know. She's, yeah.
Everyone wants to fix that shit.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's spoiling it so much. Okay.
Yeah, it is. So anyone who's not read the manga may not want to read this. Actually, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, because the anime still has a while to go before they get to that.
In fairness, actually, it's just the characters who appear. None of the actual plot significant elements appear aside from her.
Okay, 'cause I was thinking that considering the stuff around her character, that would be very hard to do. Just kind
They mistake her quirk for something else because of the accidents that she has. So none of that stuff actually appears.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
Yes.
Gonna
That is
link
as
the
vague
thing,
as I
by
can
the way?
possibly be about this.
Link the thing, by the way.
I will get a link. 1 second.
Thank you.
But yeah, it is well written. It goes outside of canon, but stays close enough that, you know, things still happen with weight. Scenes happen differently. People don't learn the same lessons. Shoto is kind of a prick until a little bit later than canon. So yeah, it's pretty good.
All right. May have to give that a read.
Cool beans. Zero, you got anything?
I have been throwing everything I have into both school and DMing a game with lots of people.
That's fair.
Fair play. I have nothing I want to especially recommend. I have been reading things, but it's like one of them is tonally odd, and yeah,
You know, I feel like putting your name to it.
kinda, yeah.
How about an overview of it? I'm curious what you mean.
Yeah, no. Like, it deals with some really weird shit. A lot. And, yeah, no. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, I got nothing aside from that. So,
No, I actually might have.
Sweet.
okay, you might have to type it because you keep cutting out now. Sorry.
Perhaps a matter of distance from the phone. Am I coming through still? Or...
Kind of, but it's spotty.
All right, I'll type it out.
Man.
So is there
So,
like
Kenchi,
anyone
what was actually
nearby
wrong
that I
with
can
your
get
car?
that cake?
No.
You can make it yourself.
You guys don't have delicious things in England.
You know,
The chocolate is better than ours.
Mhm.
I actually confirmed this recently because my boss bought British chocolate. Like the British version of Whoppers. I forget what they were called.
Foreign chocolate in general is better than ours.
Slicer, you traitor. And Zero, you traitor. USA. USA.
Look,
Hey,
we
man,
can do guns,
all-
booze, and NASCAR better than anyone else, but chocolate, not so much.
We don't do booze better than anyone else.
No, but we can say we can.
We
do
can
monster
say we
trucks.
can because we believe we
We
do.
do monster trucks and NASCAR.
There are a lot
I
of
like
recipes
seeing,
for
like-
this rainbow cake.
I like seeing non-Americans' reactions to monster trucks. Just why?
It occurs to me that, like, are there monster trucks anywhere else?
No.
Or is that just
No.
us?
It's not really.
us.
It's not really a thing.
So you see other people react to like, what's the point of this? I don't understand.
We don't understand it.
It's big
And,
things
you
smashing
know,
smaller things. I get that. It's fine. I just don't really. It's not really.
I've been to a monster truck rally, and then they gave you this. They gave like this hat that you could wear that had like the monster truck on it, and it was like shaped like the monster truck. And then at the end, you have the giant monster truck comes out, and it's like shooting fire and everything. And yeah,
Okay, look, I work like a mile away from the local fairgrounds, and when you can feel an engine from a mile away, that's fine.
Yeah, it sounds pretty solid.
I once fell asleep at a NASCAR race.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds about normal.
I mean, I'm surprised you could with the sound, but like, yeah, it's pretty boring.
Put in the earbuds, right? They give you the earplugs, and then
Oh.
after that, it just kind of becomes a low hum that's very soothing.
It's a low hum
Yeah, I
and
can see
watching
that.
things just going round and around in a circle, almost hypnotically,
Yeah,
one
it's
could
actually-
say.
Yeah, and I was with my friend at the time because I lived in Texas at the time, and he was a big NASCAR fan, and he was upset that I was falling asleep because I was going.
Who has the best patient?
Last time I tried, I fucked it up. So who wants to go for it?
I'll just read it.
He's asking for the voice.
Okay, I could try.
Kenchi,
go for it, Ken.
All right. My apologies in advance, patient. My recommendation is One Piece Peggy Sufik. Big surprise. Called A Second Chance by Karasu Tenka. This is one of the odder premises I've seen. Shut up, Slicer. This is one of the odder premises I've seen. After the Battle of Marineford, a time spirit sends Whitebeard back in time to stop it. And how far back does he go? Right back to the beginning. Incomplete, slow, but quality updates. And see.
Thank you, Kenchi.
I butchered that.
A little.
I'm sorry, patient. I can't do you justice.
You did pretty well, though.
Better than when I tried it last time. So, yeah.
Go, Whitebeard Ranger.
All right, so that's A Second Chance was patient's recommendation. Okay, so Whitebeard travels back in time. I'm kind of okay with that concept.
Yeah. I don't know about the title because it could be anything.
It's generic.
It's very generic as a title. I feel like there should be some mention of Whitebeard in there.
Yeah.
Like, A Second Chance just sounds like any other Peggy Sue fic where it's, oh, Luffy goes back to the beginning and does it all over again. And then...
mustache, A Second Chance.
Amusing. Honestly, the odd part I found that he was only sent a few hours back in time. I mean, it's workable, but it's just interesting. Only a few hours to make a difference.
If you were to make this funny, you could always call it Time Beard.
Here's the thing I actually like about that. The fact that it's not fucking around with getting to the point of, okay, stuff's about to change now. Instead of going back to, because most times when people do this sort of Peggy Sue thing, they go back through canon and barely change anything. Yep. So this is just getting right to the meat of the story.
Yeah. Not to mention, it keeps better to the scale of powers for the setting. Like, okay, yeah, Whitebeard can create earthquakes because he's got the earthquake power, but also because he's had that power for a long time and knows what he's fucking doing with it. But whenever you see time travel powers, it's always like, okay, we can change existence on a fundamental level for like 20 fucking years. A few hours is a lot more manageable and a lot less bullshit, basically.
Fair.
Like, if there was really a time travel fruit, as they tend to make them for the Peggy Sue fics, I don't even know what the One Piece timeline would actually look like if you put that into the calculations. It would be...
I imagine it would be limited extremely, like maybe 1 or 2 seconds of time manipulation.
Yeah. Something like that, yeah. Or you can manipulate time for a certain object, and so you could... Like, stopping time sounds like a One Piece power. Sending someone 20 years in the past sounds no.
A JoJo stand, which is basically what One Piece powers can become.
Kind of. Sometimes, yeah. Like a fucking jacket power.
You need to watch part 4, Casey. Watch part 4 of JoJo.
Yeah. Also, by the way, the fucking Shrek thing that someone posted in the Discord was pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. It's just fucking turning all of the JoJo themes into Smash Mouth. Playing All-Star, that was great. Surprising number of them worked pretty well.
Alright, are we finished with recommendations?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yep.
There we go. I recommend that video, fucking JoJo Shrek. That was it. I'll just... There we go. I'll just put that in the record. Alright, so... thanks everybody for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode 217. We never numbered the thing at the beginning because we were too busy talking about rainbow cake.
Dude, I'm so hungry. I woke up and I started watching the anime thing for the reflux, and then I didn't eat anything at all. I have not eaten anything. I'm hungry. Let's end this. I want to go eat something.
Same. So, if you want to get in contact with us, you can do so through the YouTube channel through the comments or through our public Discord, which there's a link to in the. Please donate on Patreon if you feel so inclined. If you enjoyed our talk about cake, so we can perhaps do a taste testing of cake or something. And podcast.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Have a nice
Once
life.
again, I'd
We'll
like to
see
thank
you
you for listening to the Fandom Flux Podcast episode. Bye.
Bye.
See you guys.